Hello everyone, this was the week when Manchester City deservingly suffered 2 defeats in England. Arsenal lost points in the Premier League for the 3rd time in a row and dropped to 5th place, while Liverpool won and are now leading the race for the Championship. In Italy, 2 games were held during the week where Juve tied with Parma. Milan beat Monza in a game where they played much worse than their opponents, and where Napoli was destroyed by Atalanta. After which Conte admitted that the team from Bergamo are simply stronger and serve as a benchmark for his team. In France, Monaco lost again, giving the 2nd place in the standings away to Marseille. In Germany, moping Dortmund suddenly woke up and beat Leipzig, who had no losses in the Bundesliga before the game. In the Netherlands, Ajax beat both Feyenoord and PSV in a week, and it seems that the team is ready to fight for the title. While in Spain, all the teams and players were sending their thoughts to those who suffered the largest flood in the last 50 years in the southeastern part of the country. We would like to wish strength and the soonest recovery possible to everyone who was affected by this tragedy too. The first one in our today's lineup is the goalkeeper, and we have an obvious hero, Alexander Nubel from Stuttgart, who made several top saves against Bayer Leverkusen. He blocked shots from Grimaldo and Frimpong and denied Victor Boniface by blocking a point-blank shot from him on a corner, and made a save on one-on-one with him. So the goalless tie in this game is entirely Nubel's merit. There were at least 6 players vying for the position of left-back this week, but Milos Kerkez from Bournemouth shined the brightest of them all. The Hungarian tore up City's defense on his flank, which was where he made 2 assists for his teammates, which were enough for the victory, despite the pressure in the last 15 minutes from the citizens. On the right back, let's keep it unpredictable and play the left back from Ajax, Jorel Hato. Well, this guy is simply super talented, and he is equally good at both attack and defense. With Feyenoord, he scored a goal and made 6 recoveries from the opponent, and with PSV, he made an assist and again performed well in defense. It seems that Jorel will end up in a top team very soon. Isaac Hien from Atalanta will definitely play as centre back. His team played 2 clean sheets against Monza and Napoli this week and extended their winning streak in the league to 5 games. The Swede was especially good in the game against Neapolitans, where he made 12 successful defensive actions and made Lukaku and his teammates feel helpless. Alongside Isaac, we will play Murillo, who has been one of the secrets of Nottingham's superstar of the season. This guy is already being wooed by top clubs. In the game against West Ham, the 22-year-old Brazilian was reliable, helped his team not to concede, and alongside his teammates let the opponent only take 4 shots. In general, it is thanks to Murillo that Nottingham has one of the best defenses in the league so far. Only 7 conceded goals in 10 games. Moving to the center of the field, and we will start with the long-awaited comeback, Casemiro. He's finally playing like a top player again, taking control over the center of the field, making spectacular tackles which are on the verge of being false, and scoring from a distance. We saw the best defensive qualities of the Brazilian in the game against Chelsea. And what about his amazing shot in the game against Leicester? In that game, Kazi scored another goal after a corner kick as well. Next up, we will bring on Dejan Kulusevski, who has benefited from being moved from the flank to the center of the field, where he has even more of an impact on Spurs game. Last week, Dejan made 2 assists in the cup game against Man City and graciously assisted Solanke in the game against Aston Villa. So we already have 2 Swedes in the lineup, and let me tell you something, that's not all yet. The 3rd player in the center of the field will be Dani Olmo because of his performance against Espanyol. The Spaniard first scored from Yamal's masterpiece pass, after which he scored another one from the middle range. And Barca, in the meantime, have gotten into incredible shape. 6 wins in a row with a total score of 24-3. How do you feel, haters? Let's move on to the attack, where Ademola Lookman will play on the left. In the game against Napoli, the Nigerian created chances for his teammates, and most importantly, he secured the win with a brace, where his 2nd goal was particularly impressive. Ademola proved that his 14th place in the voting for the Ballon d'Or was very well deserved. In terms of skills, he is a top player. Alexander Isak from Newcastle will play on the right for his two great games during the week. First, he scored in the cup game and helped his team to beat Chelsea, after which he scored the winning goal against Arsenal in the league in true British style. As a result, we already have 3 Swedes in the starting lineup. Zlatan would be very proud of this episode, and Harry Kane will complete our attacking trio. In the game against Union Berlin, by the 51st minute, the Englishman had already managed to score a penalty, make an assist to Coman, and score from an open play. Thus, Harry reached to his 17th goal of the season and overtook Marmoush in the Bundesliga top scorer race. This is our final lineup with a 3-4-4 formation, where each line has a combination of physical strength and high football intelligence. We will be able to attack both through the flanks and through the center, where Kane can go down to the midfield and give passes to the fast pair of wingers Lookman and Isak. There will be 2 candidates for the coach of the week. They are Nuno Espirito Santo of sensational Nottingham, which you will learn about more later in the video, and Ange Postecoglou, who won both games against hard opponents. First, he held the lead in the cup game against Man City, after which his team completely destroyed Aston Villa by scoring 3 goals at the end of the game. Who of these 2 was better, you decide. Let's move on to the substitutes, and we will start with Omar Marmoush, who, like his team, does not stop scoring. Throughout the week, Eintracht scored 7 goals against Bochum, and the Egyptian became the most productive player in this game by scoring a goal and having 2 assists. Let's stay in the Bundesliga and praise Dortmund's Max Bayer for his performance against Leipzig. Despite the 3 defeats before this game, the team from Dortmund won thanks to Bayer, who scored his first ever goal for his new team. So the forward surprised everyone, as did the whole Borussia Dortmund team. The third one is Ajax super sub Micah Götze. In the game against PSV, the Belgian was subbed in the 61st minute, when the score was 2-1 for PSV. In half an hour, the player scored the winning goal, made 4 shots on goal, and had 5 successful dribbles, ultimately becoming the best player of the game according to who scored. The fourth is Lewis Hall from Newcastle for his solid performance against Arsenal and Bukayo Saka in particular. The left lateral made a save on the line, 8 clearances, 4 recoveries, was never beaten one-on-one and fouled only once. Simply bravo. Our final sub will be Cody Gakpo for his 2 games against Brighton. In the cup game with the Seagulls, he scored 2 goals, one of which was a real beauty. And in the league game, he started the comeback of his team in the second half with his goal. So thanks to the Dutchman, Liverpool beat Brighton twice. Hello everyone! Jose Mourinho suffered an accidental tackle by his own player during Fenerbahce's training session. A typical friendly fire. But in third place we have Leonid Slutsky, who missed out on the title in China. The coach and his Shanghai Shenhua was chasing the leader Shanghai Port for the last 5 months in the Chinese league. On a decisive moment of the tournament, there was a gap of only a couple of points. And then in the 28th match week, things turned upside down. Shanghai Port lost, and Slutsky's team heroically snatched the victory in the 89th minute of the game and went first in the standings. For triumph, Slutsky's team needed to not screw up in the 2 remaining games. But alas, the Russian coach couldn't manage this. Already in the next match week, Shanghai Shenhua lost points in a game with the team, who was in last place in the standings and lost the lead. This team is the Chinese version of Borussia Dortmund. As a result, Slutsky became only vice champion. And although this is the best result for Shanghai Shenhua in the last 16 years, the missed title still overshadows the achievement. To work so hard for the triumph and waste it so ineptly. Minus gold medals for Slutsky and his team. In second place, we have the missing top newcomers. Federico Chiesa moved to Liverpool this summer and is still very far from being in his best shape. The Italian played only 78 minutes for his new club, and in October he didn't even appear on the field at all, despite the fact that he didn't suffer any serious injuries. There even were rumors that the Italian might be put out on loan. However, Slot calmed everyone down by saying that the player needs more time. According to the coach, it is a matter of adaptation. Chiesa missed the entire preseason and transferred to a league where football is more intense than in Serie A. It's more difficult for him than everyone else, and that is normal. If in the case of Chiesa it is probably too early to panic, the situation with another football star in La Liga is very disappointing. After an amazing performance in Copa America America, James Rodriguez decided to return to European football and moved to Rayo Vallecano. But we still haven't seen a top play from the Colombian. 0 goals, 0 assists, and only 123 minutes on the field. The problem is in the relationship between James and the head coach Inigo Perez. According to insiders, Rodriguez moved to Rayo on the initiative of the club's president, Raul Martin Presa, and against the coach's wish. Under Perez, Rayo plays modern football with active pressing, so the coach wasn't eager to see a star in the team who doesn't work without the ball. Due to pressure from the press, fans, and management, the coach sometimes gave James playing time, but now he has stopped completely. The Colombian has been sitting on the bench for the last 2 games, and now he wants to leave the club in the winter transfer window. There are talks about Lazio's interest. Write in the comments where you would like to see James next. But for now, he and Chiesa get a minus reboot of their careers for an unsuccessful start in their new teams. And in first place, let's discuss the problems of the stars in Saudi Arabia. Let's start with Ronaldo, who was knocked out in the round of 16 of the National Cup with Al Nassr. His team lost to Al Tawun, although Cristiano had a chance to save his side in the 96th minute of added time. When his team was a goal down, he missed a penalty by shooting higher. Moreover, this miss from the penalty spot was the first for the Portuguese in Al Nassr. Before that, he had scored all 18 shots. In general, Ron has already lost the 8th tournament with Al Nassr in 2 years. Cristiano's only trophy in Saudi Arabia is the Arab Club Champions Cup, which is mostly considered a semi-friendly. Cristiano, who is obsessed with trophies, is definitely not happy with such a trophy shelf in a new country. Another star was knocked out of the Saudi Arabian Cup this week as well, Steven Gerrard, who coaches Al Ittifaq. Moreover, from the outsider of the second league, Al Jabalain. In the league, Stevie G's team is also doing badly. They are in the 11th place, and in all tournaments they have not won for 6 games in a row, although the team includes such players as Seko Fofana, Moussa Dembele, and Jorginho Wijnaldum. Fans and journalists are very unhappy with Gerrard. Many recall an interview where Steven said that he changed the training schedule so that it would be more convenient for him to watch the Premier League games. Now trainings are held at 9 or even 10 in the evening, which players don't like, and apparently it affects their playing conditions. Gerrard and especially Ronaldo get -8 trophies for unsuccessful performances. Now let's add some positive vibe to the episode. At the age of 16, Tajikistan international Mohammad Nazriev set a world record for goals in a single national team game. In a qualifying game for the Asian Youth Cup, the boy scored 14 goals. Tati said that he could resume his career. At 48, the veteran began training and getting into shape. Serie A newcomer Como has already contacted the legend, and N'Golo Kante stayed on the field to clean the flags thrown out by the fans after his Al Ittihad game, while everyone else went to drink water. Again, respect to the Frenchman. But in third place is the sensational Nottingham Forest. This week, the club thrashed West Ham and rose to third place in the Premier League. I think many of you were surprised when you googled the Premier League standings and saw at the top a team that was fighting not to get relegated last season. After 10 games, Nottingham has 19 points, while in all 38 games of last season, they had 32. What progress! And all this, of course, thanks to coach Nuno Espirito Santo, who took over Nottingham in December last year. Firstly, the Portuguese saved the team from relegation, and in the new season, he has built a team with simple but very effective football. Nottingham has a defensive style. They give the ball away and park the bus. In terms of possession, they are only the 18th in the league. And in attack, they either sting on counterattacks or score from set pieces. They are second in the Premier League with goals from such situations. And among the players, the club's main star is Chris Wood. This season, he has already scored 8 goals, and since December 2023, 19 goals. Only Palmer and Haaland have scored more. There was time when Vassant used to laugh at Chris. Nuno Espirito Santo Santo and his guys get plus 19 for their unexpected results. In second place, we have Safonov, who is breaking into the PSG starting lineup. If earlier the goalie appeared in the Parisian starting lineup only due to Donnarumma's injuries or his family matters, in September Gianluigi left for the birth of his son. Then, during the week in the game with Lens, Enrique unexpectedly played the Russian guy and left the Italian player on the bench, despite the fact that Donnarumma was completely healthy. As a result, Safonov made 2 saves, keeping a clean sheet, and often went far from the goal, as the coach asks. Matvei's statistics at PSG make Enrique reconsider. Donnarumma has 9 games and 2 clean sheets, with several errors leading to goals. Safonov has the same 2 clean sheets in 4 games and 0 fails. Plus, the Russian is better in terms of accuracy of long passes and the percentage of saves. We believe that our goalkeeper will eventually win the competition, but for now, let Donnarumma finally pay for everything and not Safonov.
Safonov, оплатить.
And in first place is the new head coach of Manchester United. This week, they officially announced that Ruben Amorim will soon take over the club. The Mancunians paid Sporting 11 million euros for this transfer and signed a contract until the summer of 2027. The new coach will join the team on November 11th. It seems that Manchester United grabbed one of the best options on the market. Amorim is a super promising coach. At different times, Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, and other top clubs wanted him. And one analytical company put Ruben in first place on the list of coaches with the greatest overperformance relative to team resources. In the spring of 2020, Sporting was in a financial and gaming crisis, but with Amorim's arrival, the team won their first championship in 19 years, and after, 4 more different titles. Ruben plays with 3 central defenders. He requires from the players physicality and compact play without the ball, and he stands out for his charisma and close contact with the players. By the way, in 2018, Amorim was already at Man United. He was an intern with Mourinho, and 3 years later, when rumors linked him with Manchester, Ruben advised the club to take Ten Hag in a conversation with a journalist. Well, now he will go to fix his mistakes. Man United fans, comment below, how do you like Amorim? Well, from us to the Portuguese, plus 13th place in the Premier League standings. There is a need for improvement. For the list of the worst players today, we will start with Como goalkeeper Emil Audero, who made a fatal mistake in the first half and conceded a goal, after which his team was demolished by Lazio, who were unstoppable, and in the end, Audero ended up conceding 5 goals. In defense, I want to criticize Man City. The Stones-Diaz pair in the cup game with Tottenham, as well as Ake Kanji in the game against Bournemouth in the Premier League, did not perform well neither in defense nor in organizing the game, and they allowed their opponents to create an unusually large number of attacking threat near their goal. By the way, the fullbacks and defensive midfielders were no better. In the midfield, let's criticize 4 players from Monaco: Golovin, Camara, Minamino, and Akliuch. In the home game against Angers, they were worse than their opponents on interceptions, key passes, tackle efficiency, and other important stats. As a result, they lost to an opponent who is actually in the relegation zone. For the attack, let's criticize Milan players: Morata, Chukwueze, Okafor, Pulisic, and others. First, they were poor in converting attacking moments into goals against Napoli and eventually lost at home 2-0. And then they squandered their chances against Monza. They were lucky that at least their midfielder Reinders scored a winning goal. As a result, in 2 games, Milan made 31 shots and scored only 1 of them. This team of the week was presented to you by Vasant Balan and Sanyat Kachuk. We have a pretty good duo, don't we? If you agree, hit the like button and support us with nice comments. Now, all we have to say is ciao!